Hi, I'm Justin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and may fall again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Teddy Roosevelt. Hello, my friends. How are you guys doing? Great to see everyone this evening, September 9th, 2022, almost halfway through September. Craziness, huh? So, how is everybody doing? I was going to go live and then I wasn't, and then I was, and so I'm here because I said I would go live earlier in Marissa's room. So, here I am. So today we're going to be talking about Kiely Rodni, and we are also going to be talking about a guy who was finally captured, and his name is Raymond McLeod, and he allegedly murdered Crystal Mitchell. And some of you guys may remember that. Chris McDonough from the interview room. Check your text. Oh, hold on, guys. I see. What folder is that in? Uh-oh. Give me 1 second, guys, so I can. What? I'm sorry, guys. I don't. Jesus, the goodness. Let me check something. I see you. I don't see the folder. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But something just happened. There's way too much shit in here. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to have to look it up because I can't find it. I can't even find the folder right now. I'm trying to. So I'm just going to have to look it up because I can't find it. I can't even find the folder. God, why does people listen to me? My voice. Give me 2 seconds. Google. Okay. So there is some new charges that. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. I can't. I'm getting sidetracked. How is everybody? So sorry about that. I apologize. I appreciate you all being here. So yes, do you guys remember? Let me just show you a picture. How about that? And we'll get started this way because I want to talk to you guys about this case. I'm so happy for this mother. And I'm sorry if I'm echoing, guys. I'm in this room. You guys remember this face, this beautiful, beautiful woman? God, she's gorgeous. She's just a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. And her name was Crystal Mitchell. And Chris McDonough from the interview room had her mother on probably 10, 11 months ago. And the mother was once a detective. Maybe I'll ring a few bells back if you guys remember. You remember Mexica? Great. Well, guess what? They caught the boyfriend. 6 years he has been over across the border. They got his ass. Finally. Finally, thank you, God. It was a case that always kind of stuck out to me, and it always just bothered me, this case. And I was just looking, and I was like, thank the Lord.
Fashion police work.
Okay.
6 years after a Phoenix woman was beaten and strangled.
Sorry.
6 years trying to track down her daughter's killer.
An ex-U.S. Marine was just arrested in El Salvador, charged with the murder of 30-year-old Crystal Mitchell of Phoenix. Jason Berry joins us live in our newsroom to explain how the victim's mother, she just never gave up her fight for justice. Jason.
Yeah, this is a story of determination, a little luck, and good old-fashioned police work. 6 years after a Phoenix woman was beaten and strangled to death on vacation in San Diego, the victim's boyfriend has finally been tracked down and charged with murder.
It was June 2016 when 30-year-old Crystal Mitchell was found dead inside an apartment in San Diego. The Phoenix mother of two had been brutally murdered, and her boyfriend, Raymond McLeod, was the prime suspect. But the ex-Marine was nowhere in sight.
He was so arrogant. He was always steroided up. Just a terrible excuse for a human being. And the kids they don't have a mother now.
Authorities spent years trying to find McLeod with no success, until now, and the victim's mother, Josephine Wenzel, played a key role in tracking him down.
The number one thing for this conference is, yes, I got him, and he's not going to get away again.
This is the mother. This is the mother of Crystal, and she's always stuck out to me. You can tell she's never given up, and she has fought every single day through literally blood, sweat, and tears, shows after shows, just endless research. And about 10 or 11 months ago, everybody knew he was going to be captured eventually. This man was on the FBI's in the top 15, I think 15th on the FBI's most wanted list. Got him.
He's never going to be released from that jail if I can have something to do with that.
The strong-minded mom was front and center during a news conference in San Diego Friday, where authorities explained how they finally captured McLeod after 6 years on the run. Investigators believe McLeod, who was listed on the U.S. Marshals 15 Most Wanted list, had been bouncing around from Mexico to Belize and spent the past 2+ years hiding out in Central America.
On Saturday, August 20th, the United States Marshal Service received a tip through the U.S. Marshals website indicating someone resembling McLeod's characteristics may be working as an English instructor at a school in Sonsonate, El Salvador.
These photos were taken shortly after McLeod was arrested in El Salvador. Days later, he was extradited back to the U.S. This is McLeod appearing in court today. The judge asked us not to show his face. Authorities insist Crystal's mother, who's a former police detective, was instrumental in the search for McLeod.
She never let Crystal's murder be forgotten. She was the driving force, as you've heard, of all of us staying involved, chasing down tips, making certain that the case never went stale, making certain that we were constantly talking with the DA, with the U.S. Attorney's Office, to make certain that we could find Mr. McLeod.
Crystal's mother was asked how she feels now that an arrest has been made.
I will be satisfied when he is convicted for brutally murdering my daughter and that he's sentenced to life in prison. And I will be just as much involved as I was in the search to see this happen.
We're told the suspect was able to avoid arrest all these years by just laying low. He didn't have any identification on him, but was using the fake name Jack Donovan. He has been charged with murder and could be sentenced from 25 years to life in prison. In the newsroom, Jason Berry for Arizona's Family.
So isn't that great news? I am so glad that this sorry excuse full of sack of steroids finally got caught. Maybe he can teach English in prison now for the rest of his life, hopefully. So that is a good thing. The only thing that would be better is this not happen in the first place, right? Thank you, Victoria. Thank you so much. I appreciate your membership. Thank you, guys. Guys, I did start a new Patreon. We're having a lot of fun over there. If you are interested in joining, please, the mods will drop the link if you are interested. Lots of fun over there. You get my personal phone number, and I need to mod several people in here tonight. So remind me before I exit out of here to mod y'all up. So, yes. Thank you, BC. I appreciate you. Thank you, Ginny Lou. Okay, let me see if I can. This is what I can do. Hold on. I joined yesterday. Let's see here. Hold Right, if you're a mod, or if you're, is Betty in here? Where's Betty? Okay. If you joined the Patreon, just let me know. Jenny Lou joined. Let me see. Moderators, they just make sure everything in chat is kosher. They keep the trolls out, that kind of thing. So we're just let me see. Let me. It's okay. Okay. So yes. So how is everybody doing? By the way, guys, we have, and I don't even have the damn banner on. We have a new call-in line. So call me maybe if you guys want to talk about the case whatsoever. You can call in and we will see if this mother trucker works. Okay. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the Kiely case today, and I did want to run the that other case by you guys. I always try to add a top tier and mod and Patreon. I always try to add at least another story, just so we can at least get something else for it, right? I am so happy for Crystal's mom, that girl. Yes, so happy. She was, I know she is ecstatic, and she was an investigator. And let me tell you something, I think any mom or parent is probably, and this is a joke, but it's just as good as the FBI. Let's see if this works. Hello.
Call from Ellen Morgan.
Oh,
To accept, press 1.
I didn't want that. Hey, Ellen. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing
Good. How are you?
this evening?
Good.
I'm calling about the Kiely case. There's just one thing I noticed.
Okay.
In the picture with her, with Sammy, and
Hold on.
what's his name? And I think you're in Reno with the newscaster. If you look at Sammy, her right arm, and focus on that, from below her shoulder to her wrist are many bruises. I counted like 6 or 7. And when she took her right arm and put it behind her back, the way the wrist it flopped, it was an unusual, abnormal flop. And then she brought it back in front of her and held it with her left, held her right hand with her left.
Mm-hmm.
And I've not heard anything about that. Just study that right arm of hers. It's like the very, I think they were in Reno. It was when they were taking the newscasters or news people to Reno. So it could have been in Reno. I don't know where it was filmed, but it was early on.
Okay. Now you're saying.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I just changed the setting.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Okay, we'll try another call. I didn't mean to turn it on already. because I didn't think anybody would start calling that. So, actually didn't even have it on. I didn't even know I had it on. Okay, if she wants to call back. I was trying to change some settings, so I don't know if I screwed up the call or not. Okay, if she wants to call back, I'll try to do it. If not, I'm going to turn it off for a moment. Hello. 918, can you hear me? 918. 918. Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Okay, how do I turn this off? Hold on 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna we're gonna wait on that for a minute. I learned how to turn it off. No, it's not through Skype, it's through Google, but maybe my mic's not hooked up right or something. Okay. What did you miss? You missed me being a cluster chucker. A cluster chucker. Exactly. So anyways, guys, so there's a few things that, I do want to discuss today. And one is the things that were in the car whenever we saw the Adventures with Purpose video. But now is it just me, or do and I'm not trying to knock anybody. This is not what I'm trying to say or anything, but while we know that after Adventures with Purpose found Kiely in the car, we know this, that at least two FBI divers were in the water watching out for the car while they were pulling it out. How did no one check or look to see that if anything came out of the car? That's what I want to know. Because there is another channel out there, and God bless them, they found Kiely's laptop. They found a insurance, those little plastic insurance thing. They found like the hairbrush. They found all kinds of things, right? And I want to know, how did this just slip? You know what I mean? How did everything get out? I understand, flipping things, you can certainly, things can go out of the car, especially if the windows or doors or anything like that's open, right? But how does this happen if there's people in the water, and this is valuable evidence? This is so valuable, right? So I'm trying to find something. Let's see here. Why does it keep saying that? Technical difficulties always. Okay. We'll try this again. But as you see, you saw like the hairbrush in the car. It appeared to be a hairbrush, right? It appeared to be a hairbrush. But why was nobody checking out for any of this? And can you guys remember the channel? It's a smaller channel. They're local, and God bless them. They went there and they stuck the camera down in the water, and were like, there's glass. You could even see glass like in the on the ground that they were saying that. So it makes me wonder if actually did one of the windows break. Honey Hotel California, I'm sorry, I'm going to look at it in a minute. I've got so much going on back here. I'm a blonde, so you got to work with me. It takes me a minute to fire up my engines up here. So how does that happen? These are the, this is like the FBI. And also, guys, tell me if I heard this right about something. Let me find it. Is it true that the Nevada County Sheriff's Office, the sheriff is also the medical examiner and the public administrator? Is that right? Please tell me. Okay, Minton says yes. Oh yeah, there's a laptop, yes. But remember before, like, we didn't even know it was a laptop, I was like, well, that looks like an iMac charger. Oh, it is such a conflict of interest. I'm like, I mean, talk about yeah, a conflict of interest. And I mean, that's like 3 jobs. That's like 3 really big jobs, and it's like, well, what are you, the postal worker too? I mean, damn. Placer County coroner in Marshall. It just makes me want someone else to be involved. That's too much, and it's too much, in my opinion, responsibility for a high-profile case that should not be happening at all. Should definitely, in my opinion, not be happening. Thank you so much, Tara. Super excited for your Patreon. Blessed to be a part of your journey. Mittens has. Thank you, Tara. I appreciate you. Thank you for becoming my Patreon. And it's a really neat thing. Like, I didn't get it until like I joined Patreon, like Marissa's a long time ago, but it's like it's just like your sisterhood. You know what I mean? It's like a seniority or something. I don't know. I just watched a channel that Adventures with Purpose said it thought it was broken before it went into the water. I mean, it's possible. I mean, that is absolutely possible. Because the channel, what's the channel's name, guys? Who went and found the laptop? Let's give them a credit so we can. They worked really hard for this. You know, they're local. Hey, Brad, good to see you, honey. It's like Ronnie Lawson all over again. I know it's like Ronnie Lawson 2.0. Check It TV. That's it. Yes, Check It TV. Great. Please drop Check It TV in the chat. Now, holy hell, he's at 14,000 subscribers. He was like at 2,000 yesterday. Go, boy or girl, person, go. I'm happy for you. Justice is going to come hard after a fight. I think, in my opinion, guys, I believe that there will be arrest very, very soon. I think that there probably are people that's not sleeping very good right now, in my opinion. Ozzy, yes, the driver side passenger window broke during the roll. Okay. Interesting. So we'll look at that in just a moment, that is channel. But in the meantime, this is Captain Sam Brown of the Nevada County Sheriff's Office revealed at the press conference on Sunday that the last known location for Kiely's cell phone was at around 12:30, close to Prosser Lake, the construction reservoir that goes around the campground. He said that it is difficult to get an, quote, exact pinpoint, end quote, for the cell phone location, and that it is also possible that the cell phone did continue to ping after that time. The ping for the data points was near the water. It's hard to tell an exact pinpoint, he said. Just because it was last pinged there doesn't mean that that's where the phone stopped pinging. There's lots of reasons why those notifications or data points could be lost. Now, in my opinion, there's an 11 minutes that's critical, in my opinion. Really? Sammy was out partying yesterday? If Check It TV is in here, you want to come up, we would absolutely love to have you for sure. I am a big fan of the channel, and I appreciate your commitment to the service that you have done. Finding the laptop, doing it responsibly. You did the right thing, and it's just props go to you. A hard shutdown broke in water, and a soft shutdown turned users locator for the phone off. Interesting. So to me, it's just, the FBI is like, I don't know. I just know that there was like 2 FBI divers, right? And you just wonder, it's like, why the hell did nobody check the ground? And to be fair, it's no excuse, but to be fair, this is such a high profile thing. And I know that they're like trying to do this as stealth as possible because there's a lot of cameras on you and you just want to get out of the way, as quick as possible. But you can't leave without the laptop and everything. Now, this is the thing. So we found the laptop. Have you guys ever thought about this? Hear me out. The phone, we haven't heard anything about the phone, right? But we know the laptop. I'm blocked under Mary T. No, you shouldn't be blocked, Mary. I'm gonna have to go check my block list. I don't know if anybody's blocking while I'm gonna clear my block list today, I think. So when you have a laptop, you can connect it to your phone. The data can sync with each other. Nikki, that's a touche, Nikki. You're right. Why be so surprised the cops missed the whole ask? I rest my case. I rest it. Good point. So, but you can link the two, right? My phone is connected to my laptop, and vice versa. I wonder if Kylie's had hers in sync together. I agree. Yes, there's always a case that drives us nuts. That is for sure. And that is true as well, Kat. That's true as well. Nick said window wasn't broken when he found the car. Okay. Ford can see how much gas I have in my, if they better report my location as well. Yeah. I do believe that there will be an arrest soon, in my opinion. I think they're probably just, nobody is, passwords are changed. Thank you, Jill. Jagger is the boyfriend. Now, nobody's saying that, we don't know who did it. There is some suspicion out there, I would say, about Jagger. This is not a very clear picture, but I still want to show it. It's the ex, yeah, that's true. The ex-boyfriend. Now, as you can see here, this picture of the party. They'll claim under Stephanie, yeah. Now, as you can see here, there's some cell phones, right? Some cell phones. which is a normal thing in 2022 to have some cell phones. Yes, Tara, you do. Hold on. Tara. Where are you at, Tara? I don't see you, Tara. There you go. Okay. I see you. If you'll write down any Patreons that I haven't got to yet, please let me know. And I'll mod them up in a little bit. So, there's some phones here. And if you guys remember that really, really short video that came out at the party and like they're screaming and yelling, do you guys remember that? Does anybody? Let me know. So there is something that happened at the very end of the night. According damn it, the Mary, I'm telling you, I can't see it. Anything. Hold on, let me see if I can. Perfect. Because that one I can't see nothing. Half blind. So at the end of the night, after all the lights and everything was taken down, 12:20, all the lights taken out of the trees and generator used for the party is taken home. So basically, 12:20, lights are out. Party's over, right? They're cleaning up. 12:25, last time Sammy sees Kiely. I was leaving and I gave her a hug and telling her I loved her and goodbye, and for her to be home safe or get home safe. 12:25 to 12:30. Snapchat data shows ping in same location as campground. So allegedly, from 12:25 to 12:30, there's essentially, allegedly, no movement. No movement. Now, 12:30, Snapchat. Okay, sorry, I was just reading that. From 12:30 to 12:33, campers Dave and Jennifer Nepov witnessed a large group of cars leaving the party. Now, they are way up the road, more toward like the entrance. So these people left out in a hurry, a big hurry, from 12:30 to 12:33. Now, this is my question. From 12:30 to 12:33, David and Jennifer say, we see a lot of people leaving out of here. Now, look what happens next. Kiely falls into a hole next to where Elsa and her friend are talking. They help her up and ask her if she is okay, and she says yes. Elsa's friend asked if Kiely had a ride. because he was taking Elsa home and he had space in his car. Kiely said she had a ride and walked away alone towards where the car was parked. No headlights or anything else seen from that direction for the remainder of Elsa's time there. Last time Elsa sees Kiely. My question is, did something happen? Was it just really a hole that someone fell in? Did she hit her head? Was there a fight that took place? Or did she really just fall in a hole? Could she have been injured more than what they thought? Now, I personally believe this is foul play. In my mind, it's always been foul play. Yes, Petrus. Yes, that is true. Yes. Now, I want to know, did something, I don't think they ever really say what happened. Of course it is. Okay. Now, was there just a hole? Did she hit her head? Did somebody push her down? I feel like it was the end of the night. They were drinking. Something occurred and there was a girl fight. Foul play of some sort. And to be honest with you, I feel like this, Kiely falls into the hole and Elsa and all that thing. I feel, in my opinion, I feel like this would have happened first before, well, I mean, from 12:30 to 12:33. So it was like literally at the same time, pretty much. Maybe a minute or two difference. Like, did something happen right in here where she falls in the hole and then, like, within a minute or two, like, everybody hauls ass, gets in their car and is like, I'm out of here, done. Something happened major. Then 12:33, Kiely's phone is turned off. Kiely's phone is turned off. Now, they will know they should be able to run and see if Kiely's phone actually went dead or was it turned off. And it says turned off. No light, not a good thing. Yes, things don't happen good when there's no light, there's alcohol involved, and there's a bunch of immature people. It's never a good combination of any sort of measure. Nothing good comes out of it, ever. I'm sure autopsy report will explain a lot. Well, we're going to talk about autopsy reports too in just a moment. Kiely probably could get any, gosh, she wanted and made girls just yell. Well, I have no idea. Very merry. Did you text moi? Let me check. Let's see. I didn't get a text. Sorry, I didn't get a text. I don't see it. But I just feel like something happened really terrible. Definitely believe in foul play for sure. That's to put it mildly. Now, this is the thing that Sammy has never addressed. And now Sammy's not talking to anybody. Now, before all of this came out, that that Kiely was found and they thought they could have been foul play, Sammy, you couldn't keep her from talking. I mean, she was chatty Cathy, right? Chatty Cathy. Wouldn't, nope, guys, let me and a couple of my friends take care of it. We've got this, I'm going to issue, you go here, you do this, Now, she is buttoned up something fierce. She is not saying crapola, right? Nothing. Which she has every right to. That is part of, you can plead the fifth. You have an attorney. You don't have to say stuff whether you have an attorney or not. It's just your constitutional rights. But to me, it's just interesting that she's not talking at all. Now, I get not incriminating yourself, even if she's guilty. I get not incriminating yourself. I get that. However, you could still talk about the basics. You don't have to answer any personal questions or anything, but just talk about the things you talked about before, Sammy. How about that? But to me, if it just kind of looks, it makes me more suspicious, to be honest with you. However, nobody can say she's guilty. We can have, she can be suspect or whatever, but that doesn't mean she's guilty of anything. Now, this is the thing I also want to talk about, right? 12:33, Kiely's phone is turned off. 12:36, Sammy receives a call from Kiely, which obviously we've known this for a long time. Sammy says she receives a call from Kiely. They have done nothing but text. Sammy receives a call from Kiely asking Sammy if she needs a ride home. Sammy is in someone else's car who she's never told us who. And she says, quote, pretty much on 89 with my ride on my way home. Sammy states, quote, when she called me, she was not in the car. I could hear the party and people, many people, talking in the background. Now, she might have heard people in the background. I get that. But the party's over, right? I mean, she says she's hearing people partying. Party's over. The lights are gone. They're done. Sorry. That's suspect to me. I mean, maybe there were just people laughing and doing their thing. I get it. But Elsa, now this is where I don't get things. Elsa begins walking to her friend's car all the way back to the paved road. They walk to the Y intersection, left out, right to the water. And you got to make a hard right, turn right and then a hard left. I think it is. So 12:50, they're walking away. So either two things, one of the other had to happen, in my opinion. Kiely's phone is turned off at 12:33. Her phone is never to come back on again. 12:33 to 12:50. Right? 12:33, 17 minutes. 17 minutes. From the time Kiely's phone turns off to the time Elsa is walking out. 12:50, 1 o'clock, she leaves the party. Right? So 27 minutes from Kiely's phone turning off. That's the last thing of the night that we have. Now, Elsa says she never ever saw the lights kick up from a car or anything. But if she is still at that party, and she admits she's at that party till 1 a.m. She's like, yep, I was at that party till 1 a.m. But 27 minutes ago, Kiely's phone was already turned off. It's done. Something happened. I'm not saying Elsa is involved. I'm not saying anything like that. But something happened while Elsa was there, in my opinion. That is a whole nother subject. But it's a valid point. Now, again, two things with that could have happened. Either Sammy could have got her times mixed up, or she just got a little bit ahead of herself and talked her way too quick. Right? So something happened. 12:33. Her phone is off. Off. Now, she's walking 17 minutes. She's walking away. Sammy receives a call. Okay. Two boys, one walked away from the block. So we know. Okay. Now Elsa sees Sammy at 12, right? So between 12 and, my opinion, 12:45, 12:30, something happened. Something happened. But we're going to say 1 o'clock. somebody is not telling the truth. I want to know who Elsa was with that night. Was she driving alone? Did she drive drunk? Did she have her boyfriend? Did she have her girlfriends? Did she have anybody in the car? Who was in Sammy's car? Who was in the car with them? And I am sure, absolutely sure, investigators have already talked to them. The picture looks like they're fighting. I think, yes. I think there was a fight. Definitely think there was a fight. And I have more photos somewhere. If I can find it. I don't know. Let's go back to this. Let me get this comment off here. Now this brush right here, right? It is clearly the one that was taken from Adventures with Purpose. Clearly. That was found in the car. Clearly. Oh my God, why is this not doing it? Now here is the other photo. Senior goodbye party tomorrow at 9 at Prosser. Everyone's welcome. Say goodbye to your favorite seniors sanctuary. Something I really feel this group remember that video of like them screaming or whatever? I feel like, you know how, I mean, people can play fight and then they get a little heated and it kind of turns into a real fight. They start off with good intentions. It all comes down to fentanyl and speed. Really. Why so many kids that were at the party saying nothing? Thank you, AJ. Thank you, my love, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. So we'll talk about the autopsy. Now, I don't want to be tarred and feathered again. However, we're going to need a trigger warning. If you are sensitive in nature to talking about death, autopsies, bodily fluids, seeing photos, or anything of that nature, seeing outlines, anything, please check this out later at a time when it's better for you. So Mods, please give trigger warning. Thank you, Fluffy. So this is a body. Not a real body, but we're doing a virtual autopsy. Now, it is a disturbing case. They should have, there's because she was in water, it's bad enough. But because she was in water for 2 weeks it's really hard. But because the water temperature was 75 degrees, it makes it even way worse. So if you're in cold water when you pass, yes, this information is not for everyone. Trigger, breathe, and join later if you need to. We're in true crime. It's horrible. It's horrible stuff. So, but in death, whenever you are in cold water, I know fresh water at least, you tend to sink. You sink. And although water can speed up the process of decomposition, mainly warm water. Okay. So we're going to start the autopsy. Does everyone have their gloves and their protective gear on? Please, if you are sensitive to this is the last trigger warning. Please come back later. Okay. So we're going to select the hot spots to discover the forensic pathologists look for in particular parts of the body and the equipment they use. So the chest, the forensic pathologist will pay particular attention to the external examination. In suspicious deaths, looking at the clothes or paying attention to any unusual smells or odors. Okay? So the first thing that they do whenever you perform any type of autopsy or anything is you take photos. Now we're going to start with the shoulders. The forensic pathologist will examine the skin for any abrasions, cuts, bruises, distinguishing marks, or tattoos on the body. Do you guys remember, I'm trying to remember her name. She's a forensic doctor. Oh God. I read one of her books. Dr. Jan, she's in Florida. Dr. G, medical examiner. Yes. I'm a huge fan of her. Yes. The elbow. The forensic pathologist will test for rigor mortis by bending the elbow and the knees or opening the jaw to see if they move or not. Now, in the cases of water, you probably aren't. I mean, you're going to see the flexibility, but I don't know if you're going to move an elbow. Fingers, the forensic pathologist will look under the fingernails as valuable forensic information can be trapped there. So they're going to do a nail scraping. They are going to do a vaginal swab. Some people call them a rape kit. They are going to they're going to check under her gum line to see if there's any DNA for, more suspect. The autopsy table is waist high or height adjustable stainless steel table with running water to facilitate washing away any blood that is released during a procedure. The autopsy table is slanted tray for drainage with raised edges to keep blood from fluids from flowing onto the floor. The leg. The forensic pathologist will look for lividity, blood pooling, to help determine the time since death. Lividity can tell the pathologist a lot about the position of the body after death. So after you die, there's obviously no pulse. And so the blood has nowhere to go. The blood has absolutely nowhere to go. So gravity does its thing. And so if you die laying on your back, which most people do, you're going to have all the blood is going to pool into the lowest parts of your body. So it's going to be in your back, particularly your butt area, the back of your legs, your elbows, that kind of thing. Okay. Now we're going to start the examination. So I know this answer. To expose the internal organs, the pathologist must open the body with what shape? Are they going to do it in an X? Are they going to do it in a Y? Are they going to do it in an O? Which one? You guys are correct. Final trigger warning. This is the way we do the incisions. Right here. The first cut, known as the Y incision, is made. The arms of the Y extend from the front of each shoulder to the bottom end of the breastbone. The tail of the Y extends from the sternum to the pubic bone, and typically, to avoid go right over the navel, rib cage, and the chest, and completely through the abdominal wall. Below that, the skin from this cut is peeled back with the top flap pulled over the face. Now, viewing the internal organs. Following the Y incisions, the ribs they're cut to expose the internal organs. The sternal plate and arterial chest wall is cut away to expose the organs underneath. Select each organ to reveal its name. Yes, very true. Now remember, water makes the norm difficult, I would think. Yes. Yes. And the thing about, water is it really, like when when you're in water and you're alive, your fingers get very wrinkly and stuff like that. And that's when you're alive. Now, imagine when you don't have a pulse and, so it really makes things very complicated. And that is why, in my opinion, that I am so hung up on the Nevada County medical examiner, is the sheriff, and the public administrator. Because you need a really, and I'm not saying, this medical examiner could be fan-freaking-tastic, and he could be a good sheriff, and he could be a good public administrator. I don't know. But you need a really good one for someone in water, because they're going to we have fluid in our eyes, right? And that is probably the best place that they can do and see if she had anything in her system. And not to mention, there's fish, and there's turtles, there's crayfish, and they, to them, it's just nature, right? And they can do a lot of damage as well. So it just is, it's terrible. It's really terrible. A lot of people have talked about the lungs, right? The lungs. Well, if she died in the car and drowned, then there's going to be water in her lungs. And if she was already dead, then there's going to not be water in her lungs. The jaw relaxes and your mouth automatically opens. Can't help it, it opens. Yep. Your mouth automatically opens. Now, there may be less water in someone's lungs if, they didn't actually drown and they were already dead in the water. But regardless, water is going to eventually get in there after so much, because your body becomes waterlogged, so to say. Because, I mean, have you ever seen like a noodle that's like that's been in water too long and stuff, and they just get very mushy? And that's basically kind of how, we get. And you get bloating, especially if it's warm water and stuff. That really changes things tremendously. Okay. So right here is the lungs, the heart, liver, stomach contents. Stomach contents is very important. And they will also, it just depends on, the state of decompon the individual. But if the person is in good enough shape, they can do a cath on them and see if they're, check the urine. However, being in the water for 2 weeks, it's a lot more tricky. A lot more tricky. But nonetheless, they're still going to do the test, or they're going to try, at least. I do feel like they will find what happened for sure. I think they probably have a really good idea, to say the least. Okay, let's get on with this. Small intestines, large intestines. Okay. Each pathology service has its own autopsy technique. The most common way to remove the organs is known as the Rotisky method. The method also involves removing all the organs at once, removing one organ at a time, replacing it before moving on to the next, removing 3 organs at a time. What do you guys think? Now we're past why. Wrong. There you go. It is removing all the organs at once. I know that sounds crazy, but it is all at once. And then you weigh them individually. And then check them individually. You do not even know that 100, she was in water for 2 weeks though, right? I mean, we know that she was in water for 2 weeks just as much as we know that she wasn't, if that makes sense. because, I mean, to me, it's more of her being, and from what Adventures with Purpose has said, from what they have seen, from God bless him, his first dive of seeing the remains of someone in the water, that it appeared that she had been there quite a long time. This method involves removing the body organs all at once. This is the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, and spleen, etc., are removed in one block and then dissected. On the autopsy table, the organs are dissected one by one, and during the examination, the forensic pathologist will collect small samples of tissue for further examination under the microscope. Remove all the organs from the body and place them in the sink area. Okay. Because there should be a standard weight for, there is a normal size for a heart. They want to see if it's enlarged, if it's has anything wrong with it. That goes for your liver or anything else. Justice Janie, to be honest with you, I didn't know that either. To be honest with you. I did not. Let me see if I can find it. I'm sorry, Ellie, I didn't see it, honey. But why to donate or sell? No. I mean, if you're doing an autopsy, you are eliminating things to see why you died in the first place. Okay, Justice Janie, thank you for becoming a member. Justice Janie is the sweetest person in person. Love meeting her. All right, now we're going on to the brain. To remove the brain, an incision is made in the back of the scalp from one ear to the other. The scalp is cut, separated from the underlying skull, and pulled forward. The top of the skull is removed using a vibrating saw. The entire brain is then gently lifted out of its vault. The brain is then either cut or it is placed in a 20% solution of formaldehyde to fix its fixture analysis with the consent of the coroner and the senior next of kin. That's if they are using the brain to preserve it for any type of display. All organs except the intestines and stomach are weighed. Take the organs that are to be weighed one at a time from the tray to the scales and put the organs into the correct order of weight, lightest to heaviest, back in the sink. All right. So which one do you guys think is going to be the lightest? Lungs, kidneys, liver, heart, or brain? Thank you. Okay, I see kidneys, heart, kidneys, brain, spleen, kidneys, lungs. I did not know that 0. That's awesome. So most people, all right, 318 grams. Okay. Oh, do we put it back there? Okay. Now let's try this. Let's see what this weighs. 1,500 grams. So this is definitely the lightest so far. 350 grams. Brain, 1,336 grams. 950 grams. So we're going, what was that? 318. I can't remember. What was it? Oh, I did that one already. 318 and, oh, that one was heavy. Okay. Lightest. Can't remember. $1,500. Oh, I'm putting them. Shit, I'm putting them ass backwards. This is supposed to be the lightest. Okay, lightest. And what was this? 14. Okay, so there we have it. From lightest to heaviest. This one says the lightest over here, and I was doing it from lightest to heaviest. Okay. Kidneys, heart, lungs, brain, liver. All right, now we're going to examine them. The pathologist drains the intestines in the sink to remove any undigested food or feces that remains. The stomach is cut open and the contents are examined. Now, the process is done to help determine time and cause of death, to avoid any unnecessary composition, or to reduce odor. What's your thoughts? Now, I don't see how we're going to get a time of death. You think we can get a time of death? Cause of death? Reduce the odor? One, determine death? Okay, so most of you are saying number 1. You're correct. By understanding the identity and degree of digestion of food, or such as pills or whatever. So obviously, whenever you die, you can see in your stomach and your intestine contents to see when is the last time you ate, because every food digest. Some digest very quickly, and some take a very long time to digest. Yes, guys, if you guys will hit that thumbs up, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And it is a free way to help a sister out. Okay. So it kind of helps determine the time. Now we are going to return the organs. Following the examination, organs are returned to the body except for small fragments of tissue sampled for microscope. Under the microscope examination, the organs are placed in the body cavity. Sometimes absorbent filler material is used to replace organs that are not returned. The coroner and the senior next of kin will be notified of any organs and or large fragments of tissue retained after the examination has been complete. The senior next of kin is asked about preference to return those retained specimens to the body and or respectful disposal after the investigation has been completed. Now, thank you, Tara. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have heard of, which is very rare, mind you, but I've heard of people not returning the organs. And that's a no-no. After the pathologist has finished the examination and the organs are returned to the body, the postmortem technician will sew back up the body. Once the Y incision and the head are sewn up, the autopsy without brain and tissue analysis is completed. Stitching of the incision is like that on a baseball. Ta-da! So congratulations. You have completed your first virtual autopsy. Justice Janie, now I thought two of them were together, Justice Janie, and so if anybody would like, I'm going to drop the link to that if you guys want to do that, by yourself and learn about them. There are several different virtual ones you can do. So I thought that was really nice. All right. So also another thing, guys, right? You remember the pink and white sweater? The pink and white sweater that the authorities said that Sammy was wearing at the beginning of that party. They had confirmation. Okay. So we see that in the car. We see, in my opinion, that pink and white sweater in the car. So that tells us that Sammy at some point or another took that sweater off. She was wearing it at the beginning of the party, but by the time she was in the water, it was off of her. So she had to take that off at some point. Was she hot? Was she cold? Did she get in a fight? And you're welcome, Jessica. Why did she take that sweater off? Was she just changing? But, a lot of times when people get in a fight, they either rip each other's clothes off or they pull each other's clothes off, and they're like, come on, come on, come on, right? So that was just another thing. And was the other sweater found, the darker one? Nick said the girls he saw was wearing a gray one. I think Sammy is in a gray sweatshirt in one pic. I'll have to check. Let's see here. So, Kiely was 16 years old. She was a responsible kid to be 16, in my opinion, from the way she grew up, having to walk like 2 miles of the winter time, and, having to, she grew up in a business, in that resort. So she had she had chores and everything to do. And her mom says that she was adamant that she would never drink and drive. But there's been a lot of people that's been adamant before that said that they would never drink and drive, and have. It's life. We shouldn't. I was hit by a drunk driver when I was 17 years old. And it changed my life forever. So don't. But we have to remember, if Kiely had enough knowledge to text Sammy or text her mother and call Sammy, or Sammy call her, or whatever, then there was no error on the text. She was texting fine. I would argue that she has enough mindset, whether she's under the influence or not, right? If she could text and talk and everything, then I would say she had enough knowledge to know to stay on the pavement, which is where she was at. There was a paved road, a perfectly good paved road, and not turn on to, not turn the wrong way and then take a hard left and get on a very, very bumpy, and according to Adventures with Purpose, you would need almost 4-wheel drive because it was so bumpy and, dirt and muddy and all that. And I see people like, well, I don't, in my opinion, that it was not done by Kiely, in my opinion. But it very well could be. I'm just saying my opinion right now. I don't see her turning off onto a dirt road and into the side of a, like, we'll just call it the beach, the muddy area and stuff, and then going over a hill after she's perfectly capable of sending a text or talking to someone. It doesn't make sense. She texted without misspelling any words, but then took a wrong turn to an area she already knows. She leaves the pavement. She takes a hard left, ends in the water a few minutes later. It doesn't work. Doesn't fit. Also, Adventures with Purpose said things they can't say, but to them it looks even more extremely suspicious in their opinion. It is normal to find a person in the back seat whenever there is an accident that happens in the water. It is almost never that a body goes into the very back of a trunk area. I have photos of some woman that did this. Now, I don't necessarily agree with what she said. Her opinion was different, if I'm remembering correctly. Let me see if I can find the damn thing. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Now this is a photo of a woman trying to get into the back. This is the same make and model, I guess that's what you say. It's not the same year, I don't believe. But the problem I have with this photo hold on 1 second, is she's got the middle part down here, and B, she's got this side right here that sticks up, she's got it down. She's like, oh yeah, it's possible, but in my opinion, you got to remember, it's rolled over. You're rolled over, so it doesn't work. Now, Adventure with Purpose said, I don't see her going all the way back there whenever there is escapes out of the windows that are down and or broken. Now, this is the thing. We know that, like, there was at least a window or two down, right? Or broke or down. It is seconds, and I mean quick seconds, before that car is going to sink. Now, if the windows are up, you have more time. But in my opinion, they wanted this to sink fast because, in my opinion, it's foul play. And not to mention, there is a seat belt hanging out the back of the trunk. That's not a coincidence, in my opinion. It's okay to say, thank you, Tina. Thank you so much. It's okay to say, maybe she could have got back there and whatever like that, right? But why is there a seatbelt hanging out the back? That is what I don't know. And to me, that makes it even more suspicious, in my opinion. Okay, here's that other picture. Oh, hell. Okay. This is the beginning before she started, right? So, see, this headrest over here is already down. This one in the middle is down. Have you not seen Mocha, have you not seen the seatbelt in the back? Hold on. Let me find that picture and I'll show you. It is clearly a seatbelt. Clearly. Crap. Now here is a laptop, by the way. Here's the laptop that was found. I'll show you the seatbelt, Mocha. Just give me 1 second. It's a good point. It's a good point. Yes, there is a harness belt on the cargo area. let me see if I can find. This one isn't the best, but let me see here. Oh, here's, while I'm at it. Here is the laptop opened. Thank you, Lita Love. Lita Live, thank you, honey. 2013 is when they started making the black boxes, so I actually have her VIN number. I need to check on that to see if there was an actual black box for hers. About 2013, I believe, is when they first started making them. Okay, that's not it. So here's one of the seat belts, or not one of the seat belts. Here's one of the pictures of the seat belt. Also, one more thing before I show you the seat belt. So that's the raw papers. It records the acceleration, the time of impact, all of that. I did a live on it the other day of the kind of the black box. Thank you, Country Girl. Thank you. Appreciate it. Judging. Okay. All right, now I'm going to show you the seat belt. Share. This one isn't the best photo of it, but that is a seat belt hanging out of the car. Here, let me see if I can find it better. Rodni. I'm going to try to find a. I feel like Kiely repeatedly asking how to put a seatbelt on was trying to give the tow truck driver a sign that she's in danger, but did not catch on the red flags. No, I don't think so. I don't feel like it was. No, trader and player. Good question. People think that I showed a photo of actually like Kiely, what she was wearing. what she looked like and everything. And a lot of people, with the internet, it just is what it is. They don't go look for themselves. I didn't. I showed a black and white outline of, you couldn't tell like the gender or anything like that. So it looked more like, hold on. I mean, really, this is what it looked more like than you couldn't tell what the person looked like, if they had clothes on, if they didn't. It looked more like something like this than it did, you couldn't tell a skin color or anything. It was like an x-ray. Exactly. And I got crucified for it, but that's from people who don't go and check for themselves generally. People make up, yeah, you're right, Tara. People just make up stuff. So, but thank you. I appreciate you asking me. I really do. I appreciate it. So, yeah, guys, I've been on here 2 hours. I'm going to jump off of here. Guys, if you haven't subbed to my fun channel, you really should think about it. I would appreciate your subscription. We're going to do a lot of fun things there. And if you want to join the Patreon, it's you get information that you don't get here on YouTube, and you get information before I actually bring it to YouTube. So, like, if I find some really like, oh my God, guys, like I'm going to go live with this, you're going to know it first on Patreon. If you're able to join, fine. If not, it's no big deal. I appreciate you just being here for these victims and just putting up with me. It means a lot. I never thought I would make it this far, to be honest with you, and I really am humbled. I appreciate you all. I will be on every day this weekend. So I will see you tomorrow, and I will see you Sunday, at least one time per day. So, yes, so autopsies can take 6 weeks. Yes, love you, Little Texas. Thank you, Nina. So yeah, I really appreciate you all. God bless each and every one of you. Please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. It really, really helps. And if I get I may even go on my other channel a little bit later tonight. But if not, I will definitely see you tomorrow, Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. Good night. God bless you, each and every one of you, and your families. Hug the ones you love. We only get so many trips around the sun. And justice for Kiely. Good night.